So a lot of us have already heard Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, right?
They not like us. 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 They not like us.
It's the #1 song in the country, the fastest rap song to reach 100 million streams on Spotify, and the most streamed rap song in a single day ever, beating out Drake. I just want to lay out why Not Like Us was the conclusion, the answer to a question that was originally posed on Kendrick Lamar's first diss track, Like That.
Let me break it down like a fraction.
One of my favorite parts of Not Like Us is, of course, when Kendrick Lamar says this.
You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer.
Talk to him!
And I want to add to that point because before then, Drake did the same thing with my hometown of Chicago.
I ain't forgot about that. Bro, you talking about? I never forget that, boy.
Just check out this interview from Angie Martinez when she asks Drake who he listens to and who he's been drawing inspiration from around the release of Nothing Was the Same.
People want to know about you. People want to know what you're listening to.
Yeah.
What you like. What are you listening to? Who are you feeling?
I've been really inspired by like some real just gutter hood music. Like just listening to like Lil Reese Savage mixtape. Listen to Lil Herb, Lil Bibby.
Hood, gutter music. From who? Artists from Chicago. People like Lil Reese, G Herbo, Bibby, etc.
Know a couple niggas that's down the ride for a homicide when it's drama time. Run up on the with the llamas flying, leave his...
I swear to God, Drake could contest to this right now.
Yeah.
My first real encounter with Drake was, y'all don't know who this is? This is my favorite rapper. Drake called me his favorite rapper when I was 18 years old. This is my favorite rapper right now. And I got so shy. I'm like, man, what the fuck you just put me on the spot like that for?
But the real question is, to me, why was the guy who made Take Care drawing inspiration from G Herbo and Lil Reese? 2013 was still in the beginning of a kind of insane Drake run, and the beginning of a shift in his music. Like Nothing Was the Same after Drake released Nothing Was the Same. And the music he was drawing inspiration from started to really spill over into his music. And in many ways, Drake became an actor playing the role of a street dude.
Cases on me for $500,000 each. I find peace knowing that it's harder in the streets. I know. Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, let's play. Have you ever paid $500,000 like to an open case?
After Nothing Was the Same, he went on to release If You're Reading This It's Too Late, and What a Time to Be Alive, the mixtape with Future, where he's really leaning into more of the street image.
Live from the gutter, I will buy this mother. It's not even a discussion.
And this shift kind of speaks to Kendrick Lamar's bar on Euphoria, where he said, I like Drake with the melodies, I don't like Drake when he act tough. Because that was the same year, 2013, when Kendrick Lamar name-dropped Drake on Control along with a bunch of other rappers. And then dissed him at the BET Cypher referencing his album title, Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ha ha, joke's on you, high five. I'm bulletproof, your shots will never penetrate. Pin the tail on a donkey, boy, you been a big. I got my thumb on hip-hop and my foot in the back of your ass. Aftermath, get the last laugh.
Notice how Kendrick Lamar called him a sensitive rapper, and I think that had a lot to do with Drake's response to Control.
You should get into a rap battle.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
I feel like that's just, I feel like those things are of the moment.
You wouldn't do it for sport, ever?
Like just to call someone out?
No, like after Kendrick's thing, you wouldn't. I noticed you didn't really get into that too much. So
I just like, I don't know, it just wasn't real to me. It's like, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like, I personally enjoy making like great music and bodies of work over like being the talk of Twitter for like 5 days, you know. Over,
but you
like,
seem just now a little irritated by it. No?
Really?
Yeah, just by even saying that it was those harsh words, it seemed like maybe it irritated you for a second. Is that wrong?
No, it's just like, I mean.
And of course for me, this is when I see Kendrick Lamar's feelings for Drake start to shift.
I hate y'all. I do anything to replace y'all. Shout out to Face Mob.
Because after this, they never collaborated again.
In working your way up and sort of building relationships, I wouldn't expect you to like throw all the relationships out the door for the sake of, like I said, being like the talk of the internet for 10 days. And that, because there's a lot of people that were mentioned that I feel like can't really go back and fuck with that guy after that. You know what I'm saying?
I hurt your feelings, you don't work with me no more. Okay.
Here's a quick timeline so you can follow me. Poetic Justice, the Kendrick and Drake collab, came out in October of 2012. Control came out in August of 2013, where Kendrick Lamar name-dropped Drake. Nothing Was the Same came out in September of 2013, which is the same day that Drake does his radio interview with Angie Martinez, calling Kendrick's words harsh and not real. Then the BET Cypher with TDE happened in October of 2013.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes.
These are some of the roots of the conflict. Moving on. On Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same, there was a song on there called Started From the Bottom, which I think is a song that connects directly to Like That, because Drake is making a claim on that song. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. He also makes the claim, I done kept it real from the jump. Say I never struggled, wasn't hungry, yeah, I doubt it. I remember conversations happening around this song because a lot of people felt like Drake didn't start from the bottom. He grew up in a relatively affluent neighborhood, had soccer practices, a bar mitzvah, and this is a background he originally planned to take advantage of, as evidenced, I think, by this earlier interview with Peter Rosenberg.
Let's talk about you being Jewish real quick.
Let's do that.
Because a lot of people think that, like, Asher's Jewish.
Right.
He's not.
But he wasn't there. He didn't read his portion, first of all.
You didn't have a bar mitzvah.
Come on. Are you serious?
You don't understand how big you're about to be in the Jew world right
You don't understand how big it is.
Yo,
First of all, I live in an all-Jewish area. So
Where?
I went
Where
to
is that?
Forest Hill.
Okay.
I went to a predominantly Jewish school growing up. I definitely had a bar mitzvah in an Italian restaurant, mind you.
A nice Italian restaurant?
A very nice Italian restaurant. And yeah, man, I was in there. I was in synagogue. I had my yarmulke on. My mother is Jewish, and you know we have great Jewish dinners like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
First text message you ever sent me. Good Shabbos.
Yep, good Shabbos.
And the fact that you actually identify, that's gonna be big.
Somebody today, who I won't mention, was like, you know how big you're gonna be? It's like, this has never happened before. It's like every Jew is going to just like really embrace.
Well, here's the thing. Normally I would be mad about someone interrupting my interview, but it's Kanye. Peter Rosenberg, man. How are you? My lord. It's getting pretty hip hop. What up, man?
So when Kendrick Lamar comes on Big Sean's Control and talks about the competitive nature of hip-hop,
Push your T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear that one more now, no verb from you. What is competition?
Instead of Drake saying that as a cultural moment in hip-hop, which it was, he tried to downplay it, called it forgettable, and said it was not real. That doesn't demonstrate an understanding of how hip-hop culture works, does it?
It just wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that, and it was just like, love. So it's like, was that real or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, then let it be real then, you know, I mean, because those were harsh words, right?
And this part of his interview with Angie Martinez didn't age too well either.
As a fan, I would enjoy a Drake and Kendrick kind of sparring session.
Well, I'm sure you would.
Yeah, I would. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
I never thought Kendrick, but there's a couple other people I thought would have called my name by now that I never did. But
oh, is that what you're waiting for? The name call?
I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it. Not waiting for it, but I'm ready for it. I'm not the guy. But there's a reason why they don't call my name. I'm not the guy. I'm not the one.
I like when you talk crazy, Drake.
I'm not talking crazy. I'm being honest.
I know. I like that.
I'm not the one.
I think people think you're nice, too nice.
Oh, I am a very nice guy. That's how I was raised. I'm a cordial, very nice guy. I don't like confrontation, but I'm also not the guy, especially when it comes to rap.
It's clear to me that Kendrick doesn't like this new version of Drake because Kendrick Lamar doesn't believe that Drake started from the bottom. A lot of people don't. And this is where Like That comes in because even before that dope Kendrick verse, you got to think about the chorus of that song. Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that? All 24 you won't go, is you like that? Because niggas from the bottom really like that. So Drake said he started from the bottom, but this chorus speaks to real shit that people from the bottom are often forced to do to survive. And when you come from the kind of background that Kendrick did, the same Kendrick that said shit I've been through probably offends you. This is Paula's oldest son. And you hear a guy with Drake's background saying that he started from the bottom. It's probably angering. And we hear that anger in Meet the Grams when Kendrick says, you lied about your accent and your past tense. All is perjury. Like you didn't start from the bottom. Because once again, from the bottom really like that. So in the song Like That, Kendrick Lamar is telling Drake, I'm actually like that. I'm really from the bottom. And the way this beef played out, with Kendrick Lamar dropping over Drake's drops on the same night sometimes, hitting Drake with a back-to-back 2 times, throughout the back and forth, Kendrick Lamar is proving to us that Drake really isn't like that. And one of my favorite examples of this, one of my favorite bars from Euphoria, is when Kendrick says they run to America to imitate heritage, but they can't imitate this violence. Like the unique circumstances of being a black man raised in the ghetto, in the belly of the beast as they call America, the unique traits that this specific circumstance birthed in me cannot be imitated.
I find peace knowing that it's harder in the streets, I know. Luckily, I didn't have to grow there. I would only go there because that I know that.
And in this beef, Kendrick out-raps Drake, out-calculates him, and uses people from Drake's own team to backdoor him. Because like he said, I'm really like that. So Not Like Us answers the question that Kendrick Lamar is posing on Like That. All 24 you on go, is you like that? Because from the bottom really like that. And the answer? They are not like that. In fact, they are not like us. And the they in there is important because this isn't just about Drake. It's about the very idea of a person like Drake existing in this way, in this space, and doing what Tupac heavily criticized, colonizing the ghetto.
All the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, bad shit, I'm about to get the Bentley. I get it fastly, I just can't understand it. So much dirty money, I need it's holiday season.
That is not your house, that's an Airbnb. That is not your accent, that's AAVE. And I understand please, I do, that hip hop is a black origin in its art form, and the lyrical content and styling will reflect that. But when it's a white artist, why do we all have to sit around and accept that it is genuine? Like, we know it's not. You know, so much dirty money, I need hand sanitizer. It could have, or rather should have been, that was illegal tax-free inheritance, and I use a lot of hand sanitizer crews, and like that would have been just as.
Because like Van Lathan astutely pointed out, Kendrick doesn't just hate Drake. Kendrick legit thinks Drake is a villain of the culture. He despises not just Drake, but the idea that Drake exists. Like Kendrick hates that someone could be Drake. He wants no more Drakes forever. Because even after being called out for owning Tupac's ring and using AI to imitate his voice, he still put Tupac's ring in the Family Matters music video as a way to flex or brag.
You call it Tupac a steak, and beg him to sue me and get that shit down. You think the bank gon' let you disrespect Pop? I think that Oakland show will be your last stop.
Kendrick is affirming, I don't have to go to Chicago or Atlanta to borrow slang to imitate ways of speaking and being. I'm from the West Coast. We got our own shit and this is my culture. I was given the torch by the greats because I'm respected in this culture.
I'm gonna say this and I'ma mean this. You got the torch, you better run with it. You better run with it, because it's yours.
I'm cut from the cloth. I'm Machiavelli's offspring, as he said. This hip-hop cultural shit, particularly this West Coast shit, is my inheritance. Meanwhile, Drake gotta lie to kick it, because Kendrick Lamar has a song by that title that talks about people lying about who they are in order to fit in. You assume you can just come and hang with the homies, but your level of realness ain't the same. Circus acts only attract those that entertain. And he goes on to say, and the world don't respect you, and the culture don't accept you, but you think it's all love. And the girls gonna reject you once your parody is done. Damn. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Love and liberation to you all, and as always, like and follow for more content.
This is culture. This is not something you just play with, get some few dollars and get out. People live their lives to this music, period. It's my partners in the hood right now that they listen to rap every day because it's the only thing that can relate to their stories and their tribulations. They live and breathe it. You can't play with this, and you have to take in consideration what you write down on that paper. And if you're not doing it to say the most impactful shit, or doing it to be the best you can be for the listener to live their daily lives, then what are we doing here?